Hi, welcome back to my channel, Cosmic Insight Astrology. This is Christina. Today, actually, I wanted to make you a video about 2023 and all the auspicious and beneficial and all the challenging aspect in 2023. We're going to talk about not only the big change like Saturn and Pluto changing signs, but also I'm going to talk about Mercury retrogrades, Venus retrogrades. And I'm going to go one by one through the whole system and the sign system as well. I'm going to talk about the Rabbit New Year and a little bit of remedies I will give you. I'm not going to give you a huge variety over here because I wanted to make it simple and understandable and also easy to actually access. So I made a lot of notes here right in front of me, and the chart, I erected that for sunrise chart in UK because that is the universal time. And because right now I'm doing mundane astrology, which is predicting the world event around us and how does it affect you actually. So that's why I erected the chart in Greenwich, England. However, if you are not familiar how to erect a chart, then I would like to tell you, if you don't have your own software, I use actually SolarFire or Sirius, but SolarFire is my favorite. Then you can go astro.com, or you can also go to which I like, AstroSeek, I really like, and sometimes AstroChart as well, but AstroSeek is one of my favorite, and astro.com, and it's free. So if you don't know what is your rising sign, you just put your birth details. You're going to put your birthplace, your birth date, and the time you were born, if you know. If you don't know, you can go to sunrise chart or you can go to equal houses, because it's still going to give you a lot of information about not about your ascendant and where is it going to happen, the transformation, but how is it going and what will happen. It's still giving a lot of information. If you are not in UK or if you are not in the United States, then you live in Hungary, you live in Iraq, anywhere. Okay, then you're going to put in the birthday information of your own nation. So, whatever your nation was founded, and then you will see the chart for your own nation, okay? All right, and actually you can do that in multiple years. And it helps you to understand what is going around you and what is your own chart and how is the event, the global event is affecting you and your own personality or your own life. At this moment, this is the sunrise chart on the 1st of January, and I animate the chart for you guys. So which is the sunrise chart, which is going to start with actually here, I'm showing you with a Sagittarius rising. So any country what has Sagittarius rising gonna go through exactly in the same houses, but on mundane perspective is very important. And I tell you what, also the US has a Sagittarius rising. So when the US is in trouble, it's affecting other countries, right? Actually, everything affects, butterfly effects. If you haven't seen the movie yet, go ahead and, watch it. It is beautiful. It explains everything, how just the flap of the wing of the butterfly could affect actually the weather around us. But anyway, or if you didn't see Babel, for example, the movie with Brad Pitt, it is a very old movie, but I loved it because we are interconnected, all right, all of us. So if one of us falling, one of us dies, it's affecting a lot of life, right? And because of it's interconnected, we have, of course, with our teaching, with our being, so much on other people. So that's why I want to explain everything for you here. Okay, I get just lost in a little bit with my speech. Sorry about that, but probably that is Mercury. I'm going to, blame Mercury for it, and Mars still in retrograde in Gemini, which is affecting the speech and the thought, right? All right, so let's start. So let's see what's going on here. First of all, Mars is still retrograde until January 12th. And in the mundane astrology, it's the seventh house. And seventh house is representing the traits. And actually, it's also the peace. And it's also representing just a second here. So it is public enemies, trade, and international relationship here. So when Mars gonna go direct, it's going to be very close to the Earth. And actually it's going to, because Mars is out of bond. So it's out of the sign of the sun, the site of the sun. So actually it can act crazy, all right? So it's going to create war, perhaps. So January going to be really, really important to see where is the war between Ukraine and Russia gonna go. Plus, I have to mention, Putin has actually a Scorpio rising, and with that seeing on Scorpio ruled by Mars as well. So when it's going direct, it could be some kind of indication the war going to extend already in January. All right, then it's also representing something with trade, with public enemies. For example, the US and any country what has Sagittarius rising could have more enemies coming in. And then the trade and relations, so relationships here with other countries could indicate like, the trade will be really, really intensified. So it's really bold, which representing like, for example, this is anything with computers, with cars, Gemini, and also representing internet. So the trade of internet or like export import of that or artificial intelligence or anything with internet based, it could go very well. Okay, and what else could be that? So let's move forward. Let's see Mercury. Mercury went retrograde actually in Capricorn on December 29 of 2022. And it's going to be in retrograde until the 18th, but not gonna be out of shadow for 3 more weeks. January 1st is going to start with a Capricorn stellium over here. Capricorn, everything is structurized, everything under the government or the governments governing and under the magnifying actually the government control on us. And the second house is representing the finances, the public finances. So it could indicate, but in mundane astrology, that is the currency and that is treasury as well, okay? So it could indicate like they're going to have a new minister for example, in UK for the treasury or actually in the US as well and in some other countries as well. And it's also going to indicate, because we're going to have Pluto and Venus conjunction in second house in Capricorn, that it's going to be like we're going to have actually the Pluto rules the 8th house, so it's indicate taxation. The money will be taxed very badly in some countries. It could be also because Pluto is underworld, and it could indicate stealing by government, or, you know, by structures. It could be like some of the money could disappear from the bank accounts. All right. So it could, you know, like, yeah, that could be thief, identity thief. And especially when Sun going to conjunct with Pluto by end of the month, or actually on the 18th, middle of the month, when Mercury goes direct, it could be like a lot of people could experience identity thief. Or it could, because of Mercury goes direct that day, it could be with social media. So it could be like hacked accounts, not just bank accounts, but social media accounts as well. So that's what we're gonna face in January, the very first time of the year. Then we're gonna move forward, and then we're going to see what's going to happen in the third house and with the third house. So we know Pluto going to change sign in March. It's gonna go actually to Aquarius, but it's for the next 2 years, it's going back and forth. And an outer planet, when it's in the very first degree or very last degree, when it's leaving a sign or entering a sign, that's when it is most effective, all right? So when it's going to ingress in March 23rd, it's going to be super, super effective. You know, Aquarius is a sign of humanitarian sign. It is the genius, sign of the genius. But it's ruled by Uranus and Saturn, so it could create chaos. It is ruling the scientific world as well. So Pluto entering over here, I told you guys in my previous videos, like it's actually going to be a huge change and in science. So they're going to start to work and printing like internal organs. All right. So it will be, I told you, it could be like a Cronenberg movie, like really scary, like they're going to tattoo on organs that they double the liver, you know, like really, really scientific, and oh, it's gonna be very intense for us to understand. But Pluto over here, it's also going to require transformation in the tribe. So it will actually, the really sunny side of this Plutonian Aquarius aspect and archetype, when we're going to create tribes and we're going to live together with a lot of people going to go off grid, a lot of people going to buy lands with friends, and they're going to create tribes. So yes, that's going to be very beneficial. Pluto in Aquarius also going to actually transform the education. So it's going to be really deep, you know, education is very important. Aquarius is the genius. So it's gonna go to make and let people think. And, you know, right now the education is under the weather. Children are overwhelmed. They are actually, oh, for them, they are always tested and they are not made to think. But this Plutonian aspect is going to do research. It's going to go get to the roots and understand where we are coming from, understand the root of the problem, and problem solving will come back, which is very good because it's make them and make us to think. So that it's going to be lovely, and it is a lovely transformation. And what else could happen here? So, you know, everything with actually transit and communication. So the third house is communication, and it could represent like, you know, the way we communicate going through transformation as well. So what I see over here, holograms will be very, very important. And you know, guys, actually, they're gonna bring back the dead, and you know, with holograms. So actually, it might help and it might be bad because of people are not necessarily going to be capable to cope with death the way they did before. Because of this Pluto in Aquarius could actually bring back people like a hologram, right? And then you will be able not to hug them, but you will be able to communicate with your loved ones who passed away. And it could give some kind of delusion over here, and the process of grief going to change, because it's not going to be processed as it was before. And then if we move forward, so that is like definitely in science big breakthrough. So GNE, gene manipulation, it will be like intensified. Pluto rules the 8th house. Pluto rules birth, right? It is rules pregnancies, sex, death, all the taboos, bank system. Pluto in Aquarius, as you might seen in the news already, they are creating artificial wombs for the ones who cannot conceive. So actually, we're going to have baby making factories. And, it is very scary. But yes, artificial wombs is there. Okay, let's move forward and let's see what Saturn going to indicate in actually Pisces. And I'm going to say a lot of things over here: bad, good, the ugly, the sweet, every kind of aspects. And then I'm going to also say a few things about our financial world and, medical words as well. All right. So 2023, before I'm going to talk about Saturn in Pisces, it is very similar what we'll talk about right now, because 2023 numerologically is actually a 7 numerological year. So the 7 numerological year is Neptunian energy, all right? So obviously Saturn moving to Pisces, it is a lot of Neptunian energy over there. So also in Tarot card, it is representing by the Hanged Man. It is a spiritual awakening. Materialism won't be as important as our spiritual growth. So that's wonderful. And also what I see, Pluto going in Aquarius, and then we're going to transform the education, and we will actually create geniuses over here. That's also very, very good, right? So Neptunian energy, Neptune ruled 7th numerological year for us. All right, spiritual awakening. So, and the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man doesn't see anything the way like general or average people sees. It is actually measuring and trying to look at the situation from different angles. So, for example, I remember my grandma saying all the time, all right, when I had some kind of problem and I thought I couldn't actually solve the problem, she said, did you stand on the little stool? No. Did you lay on the floor and check the situation from there? Or on the stool? Or just stand on the table and let's see your situation from there. So yes, spiritual awakening means like you're going to be open-minded. You're going to concentrate on your third eye. Neptune is representing also your third eye. So yes, that is definitely a very Neptunian year, and especially with Saturn moving to Pisces over here. So the 4th house is real estate. It's family values. In mundane astrology, it's also mining, and it's also actually the weather. All right, so I'm going to say right now a lot of sorry side of Saturn in Pisces, okay? And after we're going to talk about the sun event. So Saturn in Pisces, Pisces rules by Neptune and Jupiter. So Neptune rules the glamour and it rules the celebrities. Saturn could be death, okay? So a lot of celebrities will pass away. And because ruled by Neptune, a lot of them could be overdoses, all right? Or suicide, okay? Then we will also have Saturn in Pisces, because Pisces rules the ocean. Saturn is limitation. We will have actually issues with seafood. So it's not going to be available. A lot of mammals could actually get on shore and die. and even beginning of the year. But you will see around March, we will have a lot of dolphins or orcas actually beached, and we will have issue with that, okay? Because they are losing navigation system. They're going to be lost and, get beached. So yes, that seafood industry going to go down. What else could be done? So Saturn in Pisces could actually lead to the pharma, the big pharma, and its leader. Some of them will die. And also it is a restriction with medication. You already seen we are having Tylenol issues for children. It's going to get intensified. So it could be like, for example, like some people won't be able to get medication. It could affect the homelesses because Neptune, that rules Pisces, actually affects the orphans, the prison, the jailed one, the incarcerated one, the homelesses, and the unprivileged. So it could be like some kind of unprivileged nation or some kind of unprivileged people not going to have, they cannot have medicine for their illnesses. Saturn, when it's going to Pisces, it could indicate, like also some kind of issues, a restriction due to a new virus. Neptune rules viruses, and when Saturn goes in, Saturn is restriction. So it could indicate also a new kind of lockdown restriction. And I see that in February and March, and then because of it's ruled by Neptune with virus as well. Saturn over here, because of Neptune rules spirituality, Jupiter rules religion, and Pisces ruled by Neptune and Jupiter, it could indicate either end of popeism or a pope is dying. So Saturn could be like one of the popes, we have one pope, but it could be someone who is already was a pope before, but it is a pope dying, okay? So it could indicate that as well. So definitely restriction in something with medication. We're not gonna have medication available. So that could be that. And when actually Venus gonna join end of January, Pisces, it's gonna go August 26th to Pisces. It could also indicate some kind of issue with diabetes medication, guys. So it could be something. And I also checked recently the SP 500, that is the stock market. And I checked over there the stock of medicine, and actually diabetes medication could be in jeopardy. So yes, if you are watching that and listening me, and if you have some loved one who has diabetes, it could be an issue, okay? All right, I also have to say that by June, it's all going to be solved again. So we're going to have actually medication again, but beginning of the year, it could be a problem. All right, so yes, popism, spirituality. It could be a war on spiritual people. So like me, giving you information and getting you ready for the challenges, because, I always tell you, don't worry about the challenges. You co-create your future. You meditate. You create your own future, law of attraction. You can be the 3% who is always the sun always shine on you. However, yes, there is collective difficulties. There is something what we have to face and we have to solve. We are here to solve this. And then with that saying on, Saturn going here, it could be like also war on spirituality, war on people who are seeing the truth, okay? So it could indicate like, because Neptune could indicate YouTube channel, because it's media and filmmaking, Saturn is giving limitation to social media. It's going to like cut a few people off. Okay. And but Neptune is higher octave of love, and actually Pisces is higher octave of love. So it could also restructure something with spirituality. Saturn doesn't have to be all bad. Saturn is ambition. Saturn is courage. Saturn is good work ethic. So we don't have to fear it, we have to embrace Saturn. We have to live and work with Saturn. If you didn't skip a step and you work hard, Saturn is ready to gift you with something amazing. So don't fear Saturn, but yes, there could be definitely issues and more death and, because of if you lived in illusion, Saturn is awakening you. Saturn is the kick you in bad reality, kind of. And if you live in illusion or dreams and you were not ready to wake up, Saturn gonna make sure you wake up. Saturn in Pisces also could indicate issues with insomnia for some or for so many, or anxiety or fears. So yes, weather related, look at that, because fourth house is weather, right? So weather related issues, it is flood and drought. Saturn is limiting the weather. Saturn is limiting seafood. It's limiting anything. Even it could be limiting drinking water, guys. So yes, it could indicate that as well. But also, it's going to create some kind of structure, cleaning up the ocean. So for example, investment. As I told you before, I checked stock market. It will be really good, like it's not written in stone. I'm not going to be responsible for your investment. I'm saying what I will do and what I checked. It could be really good to put some or check the stock of medicine, for example, check the stock of seafood, because if it's gonna be limited, obviously it could be like, all right, maybe it's gonna go up because of it's going to be limited and limitedly available, right? And something what is limited, that goes up on stock market. Also medicine and what else? So let's see, fourth house is mining also. Saturn is a new structure in that industry. And if Saturn is going into the fourth house, and actually it's weather related, and that one, Neptune, is ocean, cleaning that up the ocean, investing in that stock, then would be amazing. Or it could be security of the houses. So some kind of security system investing in, it could be also amazing. So yes, there is multiple options over here, what we can do with this Saturnian energy, and it could be amazing. But many going to give difficulties. I also wanted to mention, because US has a Sag rising, but US has a 27 degrees Aquarian moon, and Saturn gonna go on Aquarius, on its Aquarius moon in February. The moon representing the people, so Saturn, we're gonna have like a purge. So it could be, like related to some kind of Saturnian issues. What is that? Saturn is government, okay? And well, it's definitely lead back to some kind of government issues, but definitely it could be like in February, March, we will experience like some kind of race in death. And then when Saturn goes over here, we're gonna have drought and weather issues. So yes, that could indicate also death, but what Neptunian related and weather related also. So hurricanes and also water related flooding issues as well. Saturn is losing something what fourth house matters, so it could indicate a lot of foreclosure, and that's why people could actually, if they're losing their home, they get on street, and it could indicate some kind of suicide. And also what we have over here, but the good news about that, like we're going to have a lot of pharmaceutical leaders, who are actually triple rich and they don't care about us. They also going to purge and not being in position anymore, either because of they die or because of it is a change in their dynamic. But Neptune also used drugs and drug quarters. So Saturn going on over here represent also there is going to be lesson somehow, the drug quarters or the effect of the drug somehow, it's going to be the lesson. So maybe they're gonna go to jail because Neptune is jail incarcerated, that it's gonna be definitely a cleanup in the drug industry and in the drug cartel as well. All right, so let's move forward. And I'm gonna return because if my thoughts are all over, but if I going to remember something, I'm going to come back over here. But definitely it could give us structure in the family, like respect. Saturn is respect. You will respect your family and you will structure your family. It's gonna be more organized, actually. Family going to be more important, and Saturn over there could represent in Pisces like spiritual families, tribes, and family gonna be matter again. So let's see Jupiter over here. Jupiter actually moved December 20th to Aries, and it's going to stay until May 16th, and after it's gonna go to Taurus. So Jupiter in Aries, it's very bold, and we also have actually Juno coming here, very beginning of on the 13th of January, it's going to come here and going to actually conjunct with Jupiter, right? So Juno is an asteroid of loyalty and marriage. So with Jupiter, it could mean like, and also Juno is good for investment as well, but maybe we're going to value our partners a lot more like before. So because of the material world, it's actually it's not over, because it's not going to be over, but it's transforming to be spiritual. So we will value our current partner. We're not necessarily going to seek for, or people not gonna necessarily seek to lovers, right? They're gonna value marriage more, and not marriage, but the significant other more. Also, Jupiter over here in Aries could indicate like investment in anything what is defend, army, guns. It could be something with iron, with copper. So something with metal investment is really good for, okay? And also what else? Metal was airplanes, right? Or vehicles. So it could be something in vehicles and airplanes until May. So yes, anything with what is that? Anything with flying and no, not flying, but traveling. All right. I did see some kind of very interesting situation with where did I see? Let me see. I did so many charts recently, and I guess it was the stock, and in the stock market, the SP 500 has a yod in it, and the base of the yod is Uranus and Jupiter, and when Pluto going to go actually to Aquarius, it's going to be across with and actually opposite with Uranus, the base of that yod. So it's going to indicate in March we're going to have like airplane clashes somehow, something airplane related accidents. Oh yes, that's where I saw it. Okay, so yes, so we will have to watch out over there with airplanes and traveling. All right, but back to here. So Jupiter, so that's where you want to invest. Actually, that is a joy going to be very important, and Aries related activation. People is not going to feel like stagnated and tired. They're going to be activated. They want to change. urge to change and urge to start some sport. And you know, it is like, yeah, very beginning, it's the word axis, very beginning of new year, it's going to be a lot of new year resolutions to start sports and taking care of the health like that. But in mundane astrology, actually, the fifth house is entertainment. It is publishing, and over here Jupiter is representing. We're going to have a lot of new movie, for example, coming out, and Jupiter also, or actually it could be some kind of religious practice, but is not going to be traditional. I don't know, some of you if know the journey temples or journey whatever, you know, like they are singing, they are dancing. So more like those kind of enjoyable practices as well. And then in May, it's gonna go to Taurus, and Taurus is tangible. Taurus wants comfort and luxury. Then Jupiter gonna go here and actually going to do like in June, beginning of June, in 3 degrees, it's going to conjunct with the North Node. All right. So that is something Navy, military. So it's a change in their leadership, you know, like I'm seeing about the big military actions there, the big military leaders. So it's going to be a change there. New ones are coming. And then we're going to have also Jupiter here could be good for anything with farming system, anything with beef. For example, if it's stock market, then it's beef. But when Jupiter gonna reach Uranus, but it's gonna be 2024 February, but it could be something with mad cow disease or something that's affecting the brain and coming from beef related situation, you know, the neurological system, because of then some kind of bacteria, but it's gonna be later on in 2024 beginning. So in 2023, mid of 2023, it's going to be a change in the military system, in the defense system. It's gonna be some kind of safety protocol, implement some kind of safety protocol. And why is it gonna be? Because of Uranian energy, because of there is Uranus is anything with nuclear issues, right? And then are we going to have, yes, we're going to have a square. No, we don't have a square with Saturn anymore. Oh no, it's already over. So, but anyway, it's nuclear issues, and Jupiter over there could expand actually the safety protocol for some kind of nuclear issues over there. So the safety protocol, yes, it will be very, very important. All right, and what else is that there? Okay, let's move forward. Okay, Jupiter also rules the airlines, so it could be like we're going to have very, very luxurious, because Taurus is comfort and luxury, and with North Node and you know, Jupiter Airlines, it could be like, all right, so we're going to have luxurious airlines. And the sixth house, because you know, the way we erected this chart, it's indicating defense over here. So we're going to have a lot more what is the drone for defense, military drones, and for safety, for defense. And safety system, for example, it would be also really good if you invest in something that could be something in safety of your home, something with cameras, something with safety system, okay? All right, so and I'm going back to Saturn, because Saturn also is agriculture and infrastructure. So what's happening over here? And watches, oh, I always forget to talk about that, but it's very interesting because of Neptune is the thief, okay? It could be mafia, okay, and drug dealers. Saturn is the watches. So you know what we're going to have? We're going to have people who are actually going to be like a mafia to steal very, very expensive watches. So it's going to be like crazy with watch. So you have to watch out if you are owning like $1 million, or even if it's $20,000, $5,000 watch, then it's going to be under, for 2.5 years, definitely they're going to go for it. And that's like stealing watches. Okay, and with agriculture, we're going to have somehow capable. So Saturn is undeveloped land, and it's also dryness as well. It's sucking dry everything wherever it is. That's why I said, it could be a lot of drought and whatever. However, that is structure and hard work. So we will be capable somehow to manifest something from the ocean, or create some kind of structure which is actually create drinking water out from the ocean water. So that's good. That's the sunny side of that. And then be capable to actually put out the drought with that kind of structure. So when it's gonna come over here, so we can let the water in for undeveloped land and to lands where is no rain, because we're going to actually have some kind of structure out from what is going to create drinking water from ocean water. Okay, so I just returned here a little bit. Okay, and then here, let's go forward with Jupiter. Jupiter gonna be here for a long time, retrograding back and forth in July, September, in Taurus. So when it's going to go back to retrograde, then, it is revisiting anything with farming, revisiting anything with gardening, with Taurian, with safety. So that's going to be important, really important. And then we're gonna move forward. So Mercury going to go retrograde 3 times of the year. No, 4 times actually in 2023, 4 times, because we start with Mercury retrograde, but is going to go direct in January 18th and not out of shadow for 3 weeks. And let's see what are the other retrogrades over here. We're going to have, let me just find the retrograde period. I just sent it somewhere. I'm gonna pause until I find the retrograde period. So Mercury also going to go in April 21st till May 14th in retrograde in Taurus, and then August 23rd till September 15th, then December 13th till January 1st, 2024. So 4 times of the year. The first 3 is going to be Earth sign. So when Mercury is in Earth sign, any kind of planet, when it's retrograde, you revisit, you rewrite, you reinvent, you everything. So that is actually anything with Taurian aspects, Capricornian, and Virgo aspects, right? So you have to understand the archetype of those signs to understand what Mercury does over there. And, it's a misconception to be feared of Mercury retrograde because of in August and September, Virgo rules bookkeeping. For example, you will need to be careful with bookkeeping because you can miscalculate something over there. May, that is something with safety, that is something with Taurian issues over there, luxury. So you might going to buy a luxurious product, but you're not going to like because actually it's not going to serve your comfort. It might be luxurious, but not going to serve your comfort, right? In personal level. But for example, on mundane level, when it's going to go to, let's see. So when it's going to go to Taurus, Taurus is the 6th house, right? The way we erected the house, the chart. it is something with safety of your country. It is something like fear of, for example, wars, and you want to make sure you live in a safe place. So you have to revisit the situation where you live, what kind of cameras you have. So that could be for all of us here. And the country itself going to revisit also there. And in Virgo is anything with, for example, with the leaders there. So a lot of people could be like, okay, there is going to be a lot of protest in 2023. And then it's going to be like a lot of leader will actually re-elected or resign. That is the Virgo revisitation over there, because that's the leadership, that's the COE, that's the government, that's the prime minister of the country. So it could be multiple, but is that countries going to have their prime minister resign? Okay, so yes, that will be that over there. And then we're going to also have Venus going to retrograde this year, and it's going to retrograde actually, let me see, Venus is July 22nd till September 3rd, and it's gonna be in Leo. So here it is. Leo is the 9th house. That is everything with traveling, at is foreign matters, education. So when Venus is going to retrograde in there, that's definitely, you know, it's not the best for being on stage in general. It's not the best for doing any kind of glamorous change, you know, change the self, you know, it's not good for self-confidence. And what I really have to mention, gold will be an issue, because Sun, which is rules Leo, it rules gold. And Venus over there could indicate some kind of decrease in the gold. So either we're not going to have gold to mine, or not going to be capable to buy or import export, right? Or it could be something with the gold, actually the price of the gold going to decrease. And on the other hand, Leo also rules the heart and rules love life. So that period of the time, we will have a lot of issues, or some of us going to have issues with our love life or heart-related issues. And Venus rules sweetness. So it could be actually connected with diabetes or insulin intolerance, sugar intolerance. Venus also rules the endocrine. So it could be something with thyroid and the heart palpitation. A lot of people going to experience, you know, like by that some kind of issues with heart palpitation, anxiety. It doesn't have to be organ related, but it could be, as I said, as well, but definitely something with sugar and heart related issues. Okay. Then what else is going to go on? So those are the retrogrades. And then we're going to have the nodes. Let's talk about the nodes, because the nodes also are changing sign. So you understand this is a big year. The nodes are going to transit actually, and to ingress Aries and Libra. So the South node is going to Libra 29 degrees, because the nodes are moving clockwise. So it's in retrograde movement all the time. So the North node is going to go to Aries 29 degrees, and it's going to go to Libra 29 degrees. And we have moved the Venus flower actually in 29 degrees this year, I mean 2022 October, November. So South node over here going to indicate some kind of issue with social circle. It's going to indicate some kind of issue with the legislative bodies, the governors, the attorney general, the Congress, okay, and utilities as well. So Venus by South Node over there indicates like some kind of well, you know, South Node is a loss. That's a Saturnian energy. That's very karmic. But Saturn, representing fears, representing loss. So it could be like the structure of the Senate or governors or attorney generals going to go through a change. It's a loss. It's a signing of contract. Some of them gonna sign off. Definitely a change, a Saturnian structural change over there. So we're going to experience that. And in the justice system, Libra is justice system. So it's going to be a big change over there and some loss over there. And then a North Node in Aries, that's very impulsive. It's war. It's, you know, it's difficulties. So, and when I studied right now in the ISAR conference, you know, the inflation already starts in North Node in Aries. It's going to be really signified when it's going to go in 18 months to Pisces. It's going to be like huge inflation, but in Aries, it's already going to start the inflation. But definitely it's indicating more anger, more war there. Okay. And let's go back over here to Mars because of Mars rules Aries. And when Mars gonna go direct here and out of bound in Gemini, it could be also some issues with gun control and or children, because Gemini representing our children. So I just want to, because I lost that kind of thoughts over here, but we also going to have some kind of, we have to be advocate for gun control and control because of our children. Okay, I just, you know, that's a loss of thought. Yes, so the nodes are changing signs. So Aries is bold, it's initiative, and it is really an active sign over there. North Node is a Jupiterian energy. It's a positive energy. That's where we are heading. We want to change. We want to be active. But the activation is through some kind of impulsive anger, and it could be through war. So we have to understand everything, even for the better. We're creating a better world, but before it starts with a fight, starts to stand up for ourselves, for our beliefs, for our truth. So it doesn't have to be a war, but anyway, it's still a fight for our beliefs and for our truth. And it could be something related to our creativity or entertainment and our children here. Okay, so that's represented. But as I said, if you want to be very precise, you go to your country and to your birth chart and compare the two. It is a general mundane reading over here. All right, yes. And then what else we going to have? We have the eclipses, and check the eclipses. We're going to have 4 eclipses, and you know, eclipses are coming in pair. The lunar eclipse, it's usually a saying goodbye. It could be a drastic ending and a loss. It could be a death, a transformation, definitely, but through loss. And solar eclipse is actually, it's a transformation through some kind of positive change. It is also unexpected, but it's positive. So when the eclipses are actually coming, so the lunar eclipse is a full moon on steroids all the time. And in 2023, we're going to experience the first eclipse, April 19, and it's going to be in Aries 29 degrees, right? Because the nodes are moving in June here. So the first eclipse is going to be in Aries 29 degrees. 29 degrees is an honoratic karmic degree, very, very powerful, really potent. That is a solar eclipse. That must bring some kind of positive change, but because it's in Aries and that is in karmic change, it is the changes coming through fighting for your beliefs, for your truth, with another country, with your anyone, with your lover, because fifth, you know, but check, of course, your chart, but fighting for your beliefs and for your truth. And then we're going to experience a lunar eclipse in 14 degrees Scorpio in May 5th. So where is Scorpio? So Scorpio, 14 degrees over here. Scorpio is ending anyway. Scorpio is detoxification. It's letting go. And, the lunar eclipse anyway, it's a full moon on steroid. Full moon is always letting go. Lunar eclipse is extremely heavy over here. Scorpionic, we might going to experience multiple 11th house is legislative bodies, governors, people, famous people could be also, but a higher social hierarchy. We might going to experience some kind of people with scorpionic energy or leaving the earth. It could be, Biden has, for example, Scorpio sun. King Charles has Scorpio sun. So Putin has Scorpio rising. However, I don't see Putin to have major issues until beginning of 2024. When I checked his chart, when the war escalated in Europe, February 24th, unfortunately on my birthday, I checked his chart and I see something in February 2024, which is really devastating for his head. However, we don't know his exact birth sign, birth time. It was resurrected. When I checked his chart, it's definitely Plutonian rising. So definitely Scorpionic rising. All right. But that is an eclipse over here, and an eclipse working for 18 months many times. So it's not happening that day. Usually it's inviting the energy in within 6 months, sometimes a year, 12 months or 18 months even. So we will see from May 5th what's going to happen with leaders who have Scorpionic rising, moon, or sun. They might going to leave, do that transition and die. And then we're going to have a solar eclipse in October 14 Libra in 2 degrees, all right? And that's going to be, something to do with justice system, something to do with equality, fight for equality, balancing out the energy, peace. Libra is peace, seeking for peace. So in October, it is want to have peace already. So some kind of temporary peace could come through, yes, or it could be a ceasefire in countries, but yes, it could be that. And then we're going to have a lunar eclipse, October 28, Taurus, in 5 degrees. Taurian countries, Israelis Taurian countries, they can have some kind of issues over there with that lunar eclipse because it's ending. It's some difficulties there, all right? So, and Taurus is 5 degrees. Taurus is very Taurian energy because it's the first decan also. So by end of October, it could represent some kind of issues for Taurian countries, or currency could be an issue for multiple countries. So you will see like a lot of countries going to actually decrease, the currency going to go under inflation, and the money not gonna worth anything in some countries. So yes, that one as well. And also I know actually Facebook and I forgot, Zuckerberg, also Taurus, and Facebook also has Taurus sun. So then actually it could be an issue by next year with Facebook stock, or Zuckerberg. He could also actually have some kind of major health issue next year. Because that's the last lunar eclipse, and it's gonna be very, very powerful there. Okay, so what else can I say here? So let's concentrate on right now the remedies and how can we solve these issues. It's gonna be bigger than 2020. Not everything gonna be sweet. There is a lot of difficulties. We know that. We know why we were born over here. and we know we wanted to co-create it, a better future. So let's focus on everything what is Neptunian, which is everything. And actually, if you do your birth chart and if you have a very strong Neptunian energy, Neptune could be overwhelming because it could bring in some kind of addiction for you, some kind of drug or alcohol addiction or illusion, delusion, and sleepiness, and you don't want to do anything, all right? But if you have that energy in your chart, for example, I do have a lot of really good Neptunian energy. And, I'm going to balance it with Mercury. Why? Because of the opposite side of Pisces is actually Virgo. Virgo ruled by Mercury. And then I'm going to use Mercurian herbs, which is rosemary, for example, for good, like it's good for remember things and going to get organized. And I also going to use Mercurian stone. So it could be amber, citrine. And Mercury also rules the communication and your throat chakra. So if you don't want to get ill or some kind of, because Neptune rules viruses, and like if you don't want to have any throat chakra viruses or vocal cord issues or situation like that, you will need to make sure when Saturn goes to Pisces, you have some kind of Mercurian stone on you, amber, as I said, citrine, or turquoise. Use turquoise, or you can actually rule any kind of blue stone as well for communication. But if you don't have good Neptunian energy, if it's actually squaring and like in a bad aspect, and it's weak, then you use Neptunian stones. You can use aquamarine. You can use amethyst for Pisces, and it's indicating it's opening your third eye chakra, and we're going to use a lot. For example, also Saturn going to Pisces could indicate like we're going to heal depression with psychedelics, okay? Microdosing psychedelics. So you don't need to use that if you are not familiar, and absolutely not without doctor's content or psychologist, psychiatrist. But if you want to use something else, you can use mugwort for intuition. I use mugwort, colloidal gold for intuition, lotus tea. Lotus tea it's amazing. It gives you some kind of, it's not a high, but it is some kind of really great for intuition. And I use that, I drink it. And also water lilies, you can put that in your little lake, water lilies. So that's very beneficial for this Neptunian energy. So I definitely would have those. And also Neptunian energy, it's glamour and fame. So if you would like to become famous and glamorous or well-known or influencer, or if you would like to actually invest, because if you believe or not, a lot of Pisces people are extremely wealthy because of the using their intuition. So those remedies, what I was talking about, is very, very good for intuition, okay? And then I'm checking my notes over here. Let's see. I wrote something else, and I want to talk about. So yes, I was talking about Magba. Oh yes, because of so many times illusion, delusion, like Pluto going to Aquarius, we're going to have a lot of artificial intelligence influenced by artificial intelligence, and Saturn in Pisces, so the opposite sign is Mercury. You can actually use shungite for EMF protection. It's very, very important because our third eye going to be opened, and we're going to be very absorbent. That means like Pisces energy, and we have a Neptunian year numerologically at 7, which is we're gonna be very absorbent. So we want to protect ourselves because of Pluto also goes Aquarius, which is the EMF field is going to be very, very significant and powerful. And could create cancer and whatever. So you can use shungite actually and put all over in your room for EMF protection. Yes, so I wanted to talk about that. Yes, and mugwort for dreams. You know, some people going to that we will see increase in ayahuasca, peyote, and poppy seed use, you know, opiates and opiate war. You know, Saturn going in Pisces, it was an opiate war before because of we will have some kind of restriction with medicine and some kind of decrease in medicine. It could be a war on poppy seed in opiate because of the countries. For example, Iran and Iraq had a lot of opiate field, and they could actually stop delivering to the US or any other countries if they want to. And it could indicate some kind of conflict because of we will need opiate in the medical field, of course, for surgeries, for people who have cancer and in hospice. What else will you use? You know, they need that as well. Okay, so yes, that's what it is. And let's talk about also the rabbit year and Neptunian energy, you know, like, for example, Saturn, when it's going to go to Pisces, it's going to actually conjunct with Formulhat by middle of the year. And Formulhat is an archangel, and it is Gabriel, okay? And actually, it's protect the soul. And that one over there, it's representing like you want to invite and you want to structure some kind of stability in your life. And many times I would actually use an Archangel Gabriel statue on the south, and that's what I'm gonna do next year. And so to protect my spiritual death from Saturn, because Saturn can dry it, you know, like it could be a death over there. So yes, I definitely going to put an Archangel statue over here, and it's gonna be Gabriel. And you know, also Formulhat is actually representing the winter solstice. So there is a major change. There is winter solstice is darkness. It's fierce. It's longer nights. So that's why we are going to need to use remedies. And you know, Neptune also actually the water in our body, so the kidney, affecting the kidney. Celery juice is amazing for kidney cleanse over here. And because of Pisces also ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter rules the liver, I would also implement dandelion and milk thistle because of there is some kind of issues, liver issues could rise. So hepatitis issues we will have, and some kind of fatty liver, alcoholism. So that's definitely, it could be good for when, especially when Saturn goes in, because that's actually without distraction, you can do that. So it's capable to follow up, just like Jesus Christ was Capricorn, they said, and all right, it could be because he did like a 40 days starvation, he fasting. Who else could do that? Of course, Capricorn, but definitely he had a Sagittarius rising because of the teacher, and Pisces moon because he was so helpful. However, yes, it could indicate some kind of detoxification, and because of it is a Piscean year, Neptune ruled, but Pisces also ruled by Jupiter. Let's take care of the kidney and the liver this year and your spiritual transformation. And also what I wanted to talk about, you can use some kind of black onyx for, because black onyx helps you from psychic attacks. So Pisces is really psychic, and Saturn going in, you know, like you can use black onyx for psychic attacks, or black obsidian, any Saturnian stones over there. And what else I wanted to talk about? Let's talk about the year of rabbit. So again, why I wanted to talk about the rabbit year, because of rabbit is going to start in Chinese, January 22nd of 2023, until February 9th of 2024. I'm very happy because I'm rabbit. It's going to be a water rabbit. So, but rabbit, actually the Western sign of the rabbit is Pisces. Again, Piscean flavor. So that is incredible. So much Piscean flavor, guys. So you will see Pisces going to, and the Piscean flavor going to rule the year. And yes, rabbit is fertile, intelligent, and clever. Okay, it's representing good luck. If you are rabbit, or if you are pig, dog, or ox, you're going to have an amazing year, most likely. And you know, especially if you also have some planet in Western astrology in Pisces, definitely that could be very influential. So the rabbit here, as I said, the character of the rabbit. Rabbit is also fertile. It's very good for business. It hates rooster and it hates snake. So in Chinese, if you have snake, or if you have snake or rooster, it could bring in some kind of conflict and difficulties in rabbit here. So what are you going to do? Rabbit actually in Feng Shui coming from the east. So you might want to have a little pendant, a rabbit pendant, or put a little sculpture at the east side of your garden or your home. I have a lot of rabbit on the east on the in my garden. It brings in actually fertility. It brings in abundance. Rabbit is abundance because, you know, it's not coming with one little tiny rabbit when it's reproduce itself. It's coming like plenty, like 12 or 15 or whatever, you know. So yes, that is very, very powerful. And the lucky numbers going to be the year for that year, the rabbit year, is 5, 9, 3, and 6. And the lucky colors are blue and green again, because of the ocean, the color of the ocean. And also, even if the opposite sign of Pisces is Virgo, but Virgo ruled by Mercury, which is ruled the throat chakra, which is turquoise. So you see how is it amazingly connected, everything. So yes, I would use a lot of blue and green for sure. And green anyway is good for Venusian energy. It's good for love. So if you have a bad Venus aspect in your chart and you don't find love, or it's hard for you to find love, go and get some green underwears and use that on Fridays, because Friday is Venus. So that is a remedy over there for you. And definitely, so the direction for rabbit is east, because that's where it's coming from, but it's gonna be really good south as well. So it's gonna be a really good direction. And remember what I said, Fomalhaut, which is an archangel of Pisces, it's coming also from the south. So get an altar on the east and on the south. What is representing south is Gabriel, and east is put some rabbit or put some Piscean stones over there. Okay, all right. You can also use lapis lazuli as well, because it's blue and it's connected with the spiritual world, and it's rules Jupiter. It's expensive. It's really good for that. You can use jasmine perfume because it's really good for the rabbit here. You can use water lilies for decoration. And right before the Chinese New Year starts, you clean the entire house. In Feng Shui, it's always important to fix everything what is not working. That's the most important. And clean house is the most important. Then you can use the Feng Shui remedies, but I'm gonna do another video about that. All right, guys, I think it's enough because it was way too long. I hope I hope you enjoyed my video. And what do I have here? So, and, remedies are there. It's not going to be, of course, for some people, it's going to be devastating. We're going to experience what we're going to go through of this purge. But together, make sure you have the right people around you. That's the most important, right people around you. Create a tribe. Even if you are lonely or by yourself, create a tribe on social media, people who you can talk to. Because Piscean energy is really draining, and it could mental illnesses. It could indicate a lot of depression, So if you have your tribe who you talk to, it's going to be important, and they're going to be there for you. So that is what is about 2023. I'm looking forward. I'm happy to change, and that it's gonna be really, really amazing changes also. And when we're going to have difficulties, I hope we're gonna be there for each other's. Okay. Alrighty, guys, I hope you liked it and enjoyed the video. Get ready, invest, if you need to, preserve your money, definitely, because inflation, and at one point it's going to be ugly. Preserve your money, and mostly in tangibles, something with tangibles. I always tell my client, undeveloped land, Saturn, going to be great. And what I was talking about over here. Okay, guys, I see you soon. Bye. Oh, I wanted to tell you, I never really check out my website. Comment, like, subscribe, please. Put the notification bell when the new videos are coming up or when I post something. Share that with your loved ones, because they can benefit. They can get ready for the storm before it's coming. And that's the most important. To prevent is the most important. So, and check out my website if you would like to have a personal reading with me. That is www.urbanwitch.org. Thank you so much for your attention, and I see you soon with another video. Bye for now.